I won't grieve his death. I can't. I grieve the victims' deaths because it's not anything I ever thought would happen. And I am so sorry for them.
You never expect when you send your partner to work that you're gonna ever get this kind of news. Somehow you feel like they should be protected because they're doing a service to somebody, and you know that should just be the number one thing, that they're protected. I mean, they're, you know, from hazards of the workplace, and certainly something like this.
When we saw what the facts were related to the FedEx incident, we immediately said, well, how many more other cases are lingering out there that no one even knows about? Well, what we saw is that the common denominator wasn't the law, it wasn't the officers involved, it was the decisions of the prosecutor's office. And further proof of that was when the court said that these cases will no longer be filtered through them. They'll be direct files, direct submissions, but direct files to the courts. It's easy to say that, well, the prosecutor didn't give the law a chance to work. I think here again, the bigger question is why? Why did the prosecutor not give the law a chance to work?
You hear the term red flag law, but I don't think the general public really knows what that means. Flagging them for the correct term. Until the court rules within that 14 days, I could still go out to a gun store or a gun show and purchase a gun, and I'm gonna have clearance because I haven't been deemed a dangerous person and marked disqualified in the registry when they do a check on me.
From a judicial perspective, that we have to be in a position, you know, you hear people ask, well, where are the loopholes? Are there still loopholes that we can, you know, shore up? And one of the things that I've heard is the notion that 14 days between basically the seizure and the finding of probable cause and when we can actually have a dangerousness hearing, lots can go on during that time. And they're not flagged. And that there has been a push that there would be, you know, that there could be an early finding based upon probable cause only.
Innocent people have Fourth Amendment rights too. And here non-dangerous people, as well as dangerous people, have the right to due process. So no one's ever going to convince me that we should simply suspend due process.
I feel like he kind of just was briefly assessed when mom called and reported it, when they came and got his first gun, took him, assessed him, and dismissed it and said he was fine. Like, I'm sorry, but they needed to go deeper. And if that were to have happened, then I think FedEx could have potentially been prevented from this specific individual.
I think it's disheartening to know that we have these laws, but they're not followed. And because of that, it's ended up in tragedies such as the FedEx shooting where we've lost our son.
I know that he had problems, and I did try to get help. I tried so hard. Had I thought for 1 minute he was going to hurt innocent people, I don't know what I would have done. I would probably be in jail. I would have had to hurt him.
It's just been very difficult. Every day I wake up and I just can't imagine this is real. That this is just, like I said, like I'm going to wake up out of a coma and it's not going to have existed. I have felt a lot of times like I didn't want to go on. I didn't know. In fact, I still don't know how we're going to do without him the rest of our lives. He did so much. How do you survive something this horrific?
In 2004, I was a fairly new officer with IMPD South District. We got a call of a combative patient named Kenny Anderson. When we got to his mother's house, his mom handed me a pistol. Stated Kenny said that shoot the police. He was then located across the street on the steps. Officer Aaron Sullivan gained control of the situation, not by force, but by talking. Kenny kept wanting to go back to the house, kept saying, I need to check on my brother, you guys killed my brother, we need to go back to the house. Aaron kept reassuring him, no, just sit down, we're gonna get you some help. So the medics came and picked Kenny up under immediate detention. Mr. Sullivan followed. That day we walked into the house. When I immediately walked in, there were 2 British Enfield rifles on display. In his bedroom was the SKS, along with 2 fully loaded banana clips and a hockey mask from the movie Friday the 13th. It didn't really dawn on me at the moment that I was being set up for an ambush until later on. We confiscated the guns per our policy at the time. A few months later, I was given an order to sign off on the weapons. It really didn't matter if I signed off on them or not. There was no law in place at the time. I wrote an email showing my concern for giving this individual back his weapons. Specifically, I believe he'd shoot the police. Made a statement in there that basically it's inevitable it's going to happen, and I hope that I'm not the one that has to go there. A few months after that, I just got back from Ireland, and I was at the top of the world. My wife was babysitting my neighbor's kids a couple doors down. He's also a police officer, works South District with me, and she woke me up. And she said, just something's going on in South District, something bad. And I knew it happened. And I pulled up the address, and it didn't list the name, it didn't list his address, it said Dietz and Gilbert. And I knew it. And I didn't know what to do. Found out Jacob Laird got killed. Pretty emotionally distressed. Even though I wasn't there, my worst nightmare happened. I didn't want to take the spotlight away from Jake and the family to try to push this this shouldn't have happened. I met Brian Klaus. I remember him telling me, it'll be okay, this will never happen again. I'm going to make sure it never happens again. And Brian pushed this law. Its original was House Bill 1776. So now the time has passed. Brian is onto a new career, and every year that they bring this up, they forget more and more what it's about. Now with the political climate now of something needs to be done on gun control, Congresswoman Brooks has proposed this to be a national, not necessarily a law, but a recommendation, and she has the backing of Representative Carson. I think it's my time to push this story, to not let people forget that there is a story behind the red flag law, that the red flag law, if it was in place at the time, this wouldn't happen. It changed a lot of people's lives, the incident. I don't want to see it happen to another officer if it can be prevented, and I don't want to see somebody have to go through what I've gone through, watching your worst nightmare come true. It's the first time I've spoke to the media or anybody really about it in 15 years, but it's time for me to take over for Lieutenant Klaus and make sure this moves forward nationally.